3 key link types you need to be building right now, with Alexandra Tachalova. In Search SEO podcast is brought to you by Rank Ranger, the all-in-one SEO platform that helps scale your business through data and analytics. Hey, it's David. What link types are you actively trying to build your website right now? Do you even differentiate between the different types of links that you build? That's what we're going to be discussing today with a lady who regularly contributes to leading digital marketing blogs, including Moz, SEJ, and Salesforce. She runs a digital marketing conference and is founder of the relationship-based link building agency Digital Olympus. A warm welcome to the In Search SEO podcast, Alexandra Tachalova.
Hello everyone. Thank you very much for having me, David, on this podcast. I'm super excited about our today's topic.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Well, you can find Alexandra over at digitalolympus.net. So, Alexandra, are links really as important as they used to be?
Brilliant question. Actually, I think that's something that keeps kind of popping up here and there because a lot of conversations are happening right now about the importance of links, and especially I know that John Mueller, right? He keeps telling, when people are reaching out to him on Twitter, LinkedIn, and asking about the importance of links, he tries to kind of minimize, right? And answering this question no. Which in fact is true. I mean, in the following way, if you look at from because a lot of people, they try to substitute with links the kind of some other problems. What I'm trying to say that, for instance, you don't really have well optimized content on your website. It's kind of poorly optimized. It's not really in depth, and so in some way, for sure, you can substitute this poorly optimized content with links, and we've seen that for some clients it works. But one more time, it's not really the best way to deliver things. It's better to have, first of all, the right type of content in place, and then you only need a few links right back to those pages instead of building hundreds of links. And the same about your product or service. If your product or service is not really, performing well in terms of, your clients are not really happy, right? So you can try to substitute it with links, right? Because links are still one of the most important ranking factors, but it's way easier and it's way much more sense for me to, first of all, to reconsider what you do and make your clients happier from what you do, rather than forcefully trying to build thousands of links back to your website and substituting it with your not really performing well product or service.
So you say you just need to build a few links. Does that mean that you can just build a few links and then forget about link building? And as long as you've got a few links that are decent quality, then that's enough for the long term?
The main problem with any search engine optimization activity is that they need to be delivered consistently. So if you stop doing something, then someone that some other website that is doing it consistently will easily outrank you. So anything, literally. By the way, I would say that nowadays, when it comes to important ranking factor that everyone should take into consideration, that is a secret hidden ranking factor. It's the number of newly published posts that you have, because Google prefers, and that is quite logical, right? When we are trying to find something in Google, right, we want to see only new pages that are actually the freshest content, right? Because we want to find the right answers to our question. That's how Google's also looks So from the same perspective on this problem, right? So sites that can publish a good number of blog posts regularly on a monthly basis, they have more priority in terms of ranking higher, and Google prefers those websites. So, for instance, if you want to really just, rank well, what you need content and links. But content sometimes is more important. I mean, like well delivered, well optimized, in-depth, answering user questions and so on. So really hitting all those benchmarks.
So you need to be building links, but link building only really works if you have great content and you continue to publish great content on an ongoing basis. So today you're sharing 3 key link types that you need to be building right now. So starting off with number 1, type 1, links that bring SEO benefits.
Yeah, so among those links, there are a few types. So first of all, those that links on site that represent real brands. So, well, for sure, you can get a link from literally any website. And a lot of, what I noticed, that the majority of SEOs, what they're looking at some metrics. It doesn't matter whether it's Rank Ranger, Ahrefs, or Moz, or any other tool. They are going to look at a combination of domain, a combination of organic traffic, and domain authority. And if both metrics look good, then most probably they want to get a link on this website. But the next question is, what's going to happen with this link, right? If this link will keep sending you those SEO benefits and signals that Google actually takes into consideration in a long-term basis, not only today, right, to just, basically get some short-term benefits, but in the long run. And that's where, and that's when it's extremely important to get links from websites that represent real brands. So especially, I would point out services cloud solutions, because they always invest into their online presence, because their main sources of traffic, right, are most probably organic traffic. And that's how they actually grow their business. So getting a link from services cloud solution, that will be the best investment, because this link will be sending some SEO benefits right now, and with the highest probability will be sending it throughout some time and growing in its value over time, which is very important. So you're not going to close your link gap today, but it's going to work for closing your link gap for tomorrow and so on.
So you mentioned domain authority there as well. Now, many, many years ago, I used to sell links, confession. And in order to do that, we used to have a toolbar at the top of the browser that contained the Google PageRank, a little green bar that you saw from 0 to 10. Now, internally within Google, does the page rank of individual pages still matter that much, or is it just really about the broad overall domain authority nowadays?
For sure, the value of any domain is spread across the number of pages that its particular site has, which means that the more pages the domain has, like Wikipedia, let's imagine. So the less authoritative each page, the less authority each page has. But if I look at that how things work from a logical standpoint. But then I would add the following: even though it might sound that getting a decent link can only if you want to get a decent link, then the only page that works for you is the main page. Which brings us to the next question of building unnatural links, spammy links, because we had a situation with a client when we noticed that this client, due to the nature of the business, they had a lot of links from main pages because they were kind of a survey or something like that. And a lot of brands were putting their survey form on their main page, which actually didn't work very well for them, because all those websites that are most probably they're still linking back to them, they are from different niches, so they're not really relevant to them, because they might be, I don't know, from fitness niche, from restaurant niche, from whatever niche. And even though those websites are very authoritative, some of them, Google most probably was confused with those links and not really giving any priority to this website in SERPs. So I would say, circling back to kind of page authority and so on, for sure it's better to get a link from a page that has already gained some presence in Google search engine results, as well as has already got some links from other websites. But it's easier said than done to deliver this type of links, just because most probably those, some other websites that have those pages, they also understand the value of such pages, and they are not really in a position of giving you a link from such page, because they most probably, for sure it depends, but in the majority of cases the best pages on websites are the highly converting pages. So everything that kind of all those links and traffic, organic traffic, was built on purpose. So I would say, for me, what I do, for me, it's very important that a page should be interconnected with the rest of the website. So should it be an orphan page? That is very important. If you're getting link on already existing content, then this page should be indexed. And ideally, to help Google faster identifies your links, I would also recommend looking, trying to find those pages that at least ranking by some keywords. Because in that way, you're going to basically to get a link on a page that Google identifies very fast. So you will see the results way faster as well from those links.
So those are some great rules to use to decide whether or not it's worthwhile to try and get a link on a page. The second type of links that you recommend to be building are links that boost your authority.
Oh yeah, that's where we actually comes to guest blogging. Because a lot of people use guest blogging in order to build links, which is wrong. I'll explain why. I think, guest blogging is a tool that can help you build your brand, your authority. So basically, if you do guest blogging on a scale, then you're going to lose this part quite easily, just because you can't really produce, 20 guest posts per month or even more that will be all talking about something extremely unique, extremely engaging, and so on. So that is the reason why I see guest blogging as the wrong link building strategy. While it works extremely well when you wanna when you wanna tell Google that, look, we really know what we are talking about, and we know this topic. We are real experts. We are real expert there, and so on. So, guest blogging is a great strategy, and actually sometimes it's a missing component of your link building strategy, because I know that a lot of brands, they know how to build, links from authoritative websites, but they don't really invest much into guest blogging in the right way, right? When you gradually build your brand, you start writing to some small blogs, and then you're ending up, writing to Moz or HubSpot if you're from the digital marketing niche. And for sure, each and every guest post should be showcasing your expertise. So take it in that way, and it's going to pay off.
And you also talk about links that aren't even directly accessible by search engines. So things like links in email marketing newsletters that you recommend.
Yeah, those are, well, actually, I consider them in some ways links, just because, one more time, they might help you grow. They might help you bring some traffic on specific pages, right? That you want to by which you want to rank better in Google. And this type of traffic, additional traffic, might help you. So if you can, for instance, you want to rank for a set of particular pages, right? And you've already done all possible on page optimization. You're also doing link building, but you want to get results faster, right? And so let's imagine you want to rank for keywords related to email marketing, insanely competitive space. And so what can be done here? You can try to find some other influencers in your niche and other brands and exchange with them, or buy even, you can, for instance, buy. I know that Aleda Solis, she runs her own email newsletter where you can just, buy, sponsor it and being featured there. And you can get some traffic from this newsletter, which will be actually 100% relevant to you, because she only, she's mostly focusing for sure on SEO topics. But if you have a tool like, for instance, Rank Ranger, then in that way, you're going to get, that will be beneficial for you. So yeah, you just need to kind of help Google see that you're getting some traction from this page. So basically you have some users, right, that are interacting with this page and they're happy with that type of content. So in that way, that might be something really small, but that missing part.
So are you saying that if you can demonstrate to Google that a page is getting traffic, even though Google doesn't know where the traffic is coming from, Google may make the decision to increase its ranking for keyword phrases on the page to test whether or not it's a relevant page for users?
Yes, but Google understands that this traffic comes from newsletter because it gives an attribute, basically. And then you can even put UTM marks, just, if you want to, and in that way it's going to be attributed, to the right channel for 100%. But yeah, you just need to show that users are interested in that type of, content. The same goes to social media, right? So if you can just, send some traffic from social media platforms to a page that you want to rank for, then it's going to work in a similar way.
So the third type of link that you recommend is links that help to grow your brand awareness. Yeah, so in that way, I would say that it can be literally any link that is coming, for instance, from, let's imagine, I've recently actually judged, that was a global search award, right? Mm-hmm. And so, companies that are going to be shortlisted, right? They're going to get a do follow link for some time from I don't really recall, not really from my main page, but from some page where they're going to be shortlisted. So this is not actually a permanent link, right? It's going to happen for some time. But since Google understands with the help of machine learning what is award is, right? What is an award is, and that is actually a quite authoritative website that has a decent history of running awards. So in that way,
your brand will definitely benefit from this link. The same about conferences, for instance, or being listed as a podcast speaker, right? On some on some podcast platforms, because normally those links are no follow actually. So that type of links are extremely important. For sure, you can't really hire anyone to deliver that type of links. You can only do them internally. But I think those links, even though they might not be permanent, no follow and so on, they are very important. Just because you're building up your backlink profile, and you need to have diversity there.
I can feel part 2 of this conversation coming on, because there's a lot more conversation that you can have about link building, I'm sure, as well. We can dive into different areas as well. But for now, let's finish off with
the Pareto Pickle.
So Pareto says that you can get 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. What's one SEO activity that you would recommend that provides incredible results for modest levels of effort?
Well, I would say what we recommend our clients doing is if they want to get results faster from their SEO activities, then what they need to do, they need to open their Google Search Console and find those pages that have been performing well for quite some time, and they have a positive trend. It's very important to have a positive trend. So they're still growing in terms of impressions and most probably clicks. Then, if they haven't, updated those pages for a while, they need actually to update them. And if they are in position of adding a few links, like 1-2 links, not much, you don't really need to kind of build tons of links back to those pages, you're going to see a really good boost in traffic. So that's how you can really show, they are kind of low-hanging fruits, because Google loves those pages, but at some point, if they are a little bit outdated, Google doesn't really give it enough priority. And actually, that's a very good, just kind of what you can do is kind of a routine even on a quarterly basis.
Great practical tip there. Well, I've been your host, David Bain. You can find Alexandra over at digitalolympus.net. Alexandra, thanks so much for being on the In Search SEO podcast.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a lovely day.
And thank you for listening. Check out all the previous episodes and sign up for a free trial of the Rank Ranger platform over at rankranger.com.